For 21 nights now, I lie still and listen to my husband leave at 12:07, and I never ask where he goes, because 3 weeks ago I found a Walmart receipt in his coat. The microwave clock in the kitchen runs fast, 4 minutes fast. So I know the real time too. It is 12:07 a.m. I count this for 21 nights now. Brad leaves at 12:07. He comes home before 4 a.m. He thinks I do not hear him. He thinks I am asleep. I hear him every time, every night. Brad's side of the bed is empty. The sheet is still warm. The room smells like his soap. He uses Irish Spring, the same green bar for 12 years. I do not turn on the light. 3 weeks ago, I fold Brad's coat. It is a Thursday. I put away the laundry. A Walmart receipt falls out of the pocket. I read it. Diapers, size 4. A box of goldfish crackers. Skin cream for a small child. They sell that cream in the baby aisle. We do not have a baby. Ellie is 9 years old. Ellie does not eat goldfish anymore. I put the receipt back in the coat pocket. I do not cry. I do not call my sister. I walk to the kitchen. I make pancakes for Ellie. I put syrup on the table. I tell her the pancake looks like a bunny. That was 3 weeks ago. The next day, I take the receipt. I take a photo of it with my phone. I put the receipt back in his coat pocket. The photo is in my phone now. I look at it sometimes. I sit up in bed. I get dressed in the dark. Old jeans, a gray hoodie from Ellie's school. No makeup. I tie my hair back. My hands do not shake. I notice this. I think my hands should shake. They do not. Maybe that is the worst part. I walk to the kitchen. There is a coffee cup on the table. Brad did not finish it last night. A thin brown skin sits on top of the coffee. I look at it for 1 long second. Then I pour it out in the sink. I wash the cup with hot water. I put it in the dishwasher. The dishwasher is full of clean dishes from this morning. I shut the door soft. The neighbor's car comes home. The lights move across the living room curtain. 3 long lines of light. They slide across the wall for 3 seconds. I stand in the light. Then it is dark again. The clock on the wall ticks. I do not move. I walk down the hall. The white Walmart trash bag sits by the front door. It is full. An empty milk jug. A box from a frozen pizza. The bag is ready for morning. I almost trip on it. I push it with my foot. I open Ellie's door soft. She is asleep on her side. Her hair is on her face. I pull up the blanket. Bluey on the blanket. Bluey on the wall. Bluey on her shirt. She is 9, but she still loves Bluey. I do not tell her to grow up. Last night, Brad was in the shower. Ellie was at the kitchen table with her math homework. She looked up at me. She asked, "Mom, why is Daddy gone so much?" I said, "He works hard for us, sweetie. Now go kiss him good night before bed." She did. She knocked on the bathroom door. She said, "Daddy, I love you. I sent my own daughter. I sent her to kiss the man I know is a liar. I do not want my mom to know. I do not want my sister to know. I do not want Linda from the dental office to know. If they know, I was wrong for 12 years. I close Ellie's door. I stand in the hall. My hand is on the wall. I breathe too fast. I count to 10 in my head. I stop. I push it down. I do that very well. I know what I am going to do tonight. I know it for 3 weeks now. Tonight is the night. I do not know why tonight and not last night. Maybe the coffee cup. Maybe I am just tired. Maybe I looked at the photo one too many times today. I go back to the bedroom. I open Brad's sock drawer. 8 months ago, he put a second car key in the back, under his white socks. He thinks I do not know. I know. I always know. I take the key. The key is cold in my hand. There is a small scratch on one side. He never told me he had a second key. I walk to the front door. I put on my coat. I take my purse. I open the door slow. I step out. I close it. A small click. The same click Brad made 1 hour ago. I sit in my car. I do not start it yet. The street is quiet. One streetlight is yellow. A dog barks 2 houses down. I put both hands on the wheel. I do not know what I will see tonight. I only know I have to see. I have to see with my own eyes. I start the car. I never followed anyone before. That is my one thought. Just that. Nothing more. I drive slow. I stay 4 cars behind Brad. Green light, red light. We pass a quick trip. The big red Q sign blinks. On, off, on, off. 2 seconds each time. Last summer, Brad and I stopped at this same quick trip. We bought a bag of ice for a picnic at Skiatook Lake. Ellie sat in the back seat with a bag of goldfish on her lap. She dropped some on the floor of the car. She laughed. Brad laughed too. He said, "Don't worry, baby. Daddy will clean it." He never cleaned it. The goldfish stayed there for a week. I pushed the memory away. Hard. Brad gets on Highway 169. He drives north. 20 minutes. I drive in the slow lane. I do not change lanes. He does not know my car. I have a gray Honda Civic. It looks like every other car on this road. Brad gets off the highway. He turns onto a small road, then onto Stone Ridge Drive. The street has small one-floor houses. The yards are small. There is an old for rent sign in a yard 3 houses down. The paint is faded. This is not a rich street. It is not a poor street. It is just a street. Brad parks in front of number 4412. The number is in big black letters by the door. I drive past him. I park 3 houses down. I turn off my lights. I turn off the engine. I sit very still. My heart beats hard. But my hands still do not shake. Why do my hands not shake? Brad walks up to the door. He does not knock. He has his own key. He uses it. The door opens. A woman stands inside. The light in the living room behind her is yellow and warm. The woman holds a small boy on her hip, maybe 4 years old, maybe 5. The boy cries soft. Brad takes the boy from her arms. He kisses the boy on the top of his head. He rocks him. He says something to the woman. She says something back. Then she smiles a little and steps back. The door closes. I see this for maybe 4 seconds. Then it is over. I sit in my car. I count. 1, 2, 3. I count up to 47 seconds. I wait for myself to cry. I think I will cry now. I do not. I am cold. I am numb. There is no word for what I feel. Not yet. The word is not in me. I drive home. The road is empty at this hour. I get back at 3:42 a.m. I park. I get back in bed. I lie on my side. I face the wall. I keep my eyes open. Brad comes home at 4:18 a.m. He gets in bed soft. He kisses my shoulder. "Hey, you up?" he says. I do not answer. He thinks I am asleep. He falls asleep in 6 minutes. I count those minutes too. I do not sleep all night. The next morning, I make pancakes for Ellie. I pack her lunch, PB&J, a bag of goldfish, an apple. I drive her to school. She talks about her friend Maya. I say, that sounds nice, baby. I drop her off. I wave. She waves back. She runs in the door. I drive home. I do not turn on the radio. I sit at my kitchen table. I open my laptop. I do not Google anything. I do not type Stone Ridge Drive 4412 yet. I open the Bank of America app on my phone first. The shared account has $1,847.62. Last month, it had $4,300. I look at the transfer history. I scroll back. Every month, $800 goes to an account called Donovan Property LLC. This started 14 months ago. I do the math on a piece of paper. 14 times 800. That is $11,200. I sit very still. I look at the number on the page. $11,200. That is half of my mom's funeral cost. That is Ellie's summer camp for 2 years. Then I think of the other money. My mom died in 2019. She left me $40,000. The money is in a savings account, or it should be. I check. The account has $3,000 left. I look at the transfer history. $37,000 went to Donovan Property LLC over 2 years. I close my eyes. I open them. I open my laptop. I go to the Oklahoma Secretary of State website. It is free. I type Donovan Property LLC. The page loads. The LLC has 2 names on it, Brad Donovan. Sarah Reyes. The address is 4412 Stone Ridge Drive. The same house from last night. I print the LLC papers later. 4 pages. I print them at the dental office on my lunch break. Linda walks past me. She says, "Heather, you okay? You look pale." I say, "I'm okay, Linda. Just tired." Ellie was up all night with a cold. Linda nods. She walks away. I drive home. I sit at the table again. I read the papers. I read them 3 times. I take a blue pen. I circle Sarah Reyes's name. The pen tip almost goes through the paper. I do not know this, Sarah. I only know her name is on a paper my husband filed. With my money, maybe she signed it. Maybe she did not. I think about that for a long time. I call Linda back at the office. "Linda, I need to take Friday off. Personal stuff." Linda does not ask why. She says, "Sure thing, hon. You take care." Friday. I drive. I do not go home. I drive to an IHOP near Stone Ridge Drive. I sit in a booth by the window. I order coffee. The coffee is $2.85. I pay in cash. The mug is white china. The rim is chipped on one side. The coffee is too hot to hold. I let it cool. I do not drink it. I read the LLC papers again. I make small notes in the margin. My pen runs out of ink. I go to the front desk. The woman gives me a black pen. I say thank you. I sit in that booth for 4 hours. The waitress fills my coffee 3 times. She says, "Sweetie, you want some food?" I say, "Just the coffee, please." She says, "Okay, Han. You holler if you need me." It is dark outside. I drive to Stone Ridge Drive. I park in front of 4412. The porch light is on, a small yellow light. I sit in my car for 10 minutes. I look at the house. Then I open my door. I walk up the steps. There are 3 steps. They are concrete. One step has a small crack. I stand on the porch. My hand is on the screen door. I knock. The front door opens. Sarah stands there. She wears her CNA uniform, light blue. There is a small blue pen mark on the chest. Her hair is in a tired bun. She is just home from work. She holds the small boy on her hip. He is asleep. His mouth is open a little. His little hand grips her shirt collar. Sarah looks at me. I look at her. She is younger than me. 5 years younger, maybe. "Are you Sarah Reyes?" I say. "Yes." "Who are you?" "I am Brad's wife." Sarah does not fall. She does not scream. She stands very still for 3 seconds. Her face turns white. The color leaves slowly, from the top down. "His wife?" she says. Her voice is very small. "He told me he was divorced. 2 years ago. He said it was final. He showed me a paper." I do not say anything. "We met 3 years ago," Sarah says, "in a cafe in Tulsa. He sat alone. I sat at the next table. He started to talk to me." She stops. She looks at the boy on her hip. Mateo's father died in 2021. Overdose. Brad came in our life after that. He said he wanted to be a good father to Mateo. I believed him. I see her hands shake. Mine still do not. "Please, come in," Sarah says. "It's cold." I do not walk in right away. I stand on the porch. 30 more seconds. The wind is cold. Sarah holds the sleeping boy in her tired arms. I can see the weight on her face. I make her wait. I make her stand at the door with her tired arms and her sleeping son, because part of me wants her to suffer too, even now, even when I see her face. After 30 seconds, I walk in. I take off my shoes. The house is small. The walls are clean. There is a green couch. There is a TV that is not on. Later, I will not remember exactly how long I stood on the porch, but I will remember that I stood there. That part I do not forget. In the kitchen, a small wooden table. 3 wooden chairs. The fridge has a magnet shaped like a pineapple. There are crayon drawings on the fridge. A blue car. A green tree. The word "Mama" in yellow. Sarah puts Mateo on the couch. She covers him with a green blanket. The blanket has little trains on it. She comes back to the table. She sits down. She puts her hands flat on the table. "How long?" Sarah asks. 12 years married. 3 weeks ago I knew. And you came here. I came here." She does not cry. She breathes deep. She stands up. She takes a Shutterfly photo book from the cabinet. The cover is hard. It says, Daddy 2024 inches cursive letters. She puts it on the table. She opens to the first page. Brad holds Mateo in the backyard. Brad laughs. His hair is wet from the sprinkler. Mateo laughs too. The next page. Mateo on Brad's shoulders at Tulsa Zoo. Brad has a Tulsa Zoo t-shirt on. The next page. Brad helps Mateo blow out 5 candles on a birthday cake. The cake is in the shape of a truck. I look at the pictures for 4 minutes. I do not say anything. Part of me feels sorry for this woman. Part of me still hates her. Both at the same time. I take the LLC papers out of my purse. I put them on the table. I point to her name. Did you sign anything? I ask. Any company papers? For a property? No, she says. I never signed any company papers. Then he wrote your name on them, without asking. That can't be true. It is true. The papers are right here. I called the state office today. They confirmed it. She looks at the page. Her name in print. She touches it with her finger. That's a big crime, Sarah. Bigger than a divorce. Bigger than child support. He could go to jail for that. She looks at her own hands. What do you want? She asks. I think. I had my answer ready all week. I wrote it on a piece of paper in my car. But now, I sit across from this woman. And I am not sure anymore. The woman in the photos with my husband. The woman with the tired blue uniform. The woman with the sleeping son on the couch. I want him to lose, I say at last. Not in court. Not in a year. Tomorrow. I stand up. I walk to the door. Before I open it, I turn around. He goes to Waffle House on Saturdays. 8 in the morning, with his friends from work. Will you come with me? Sarah looks at Mateo on the couch. He is still asleep. The little blanket goes up and down. She nods one time. She does not cry. I drive home. I do not turn on the radio. 28 minutes of silence. I get home. I stand on my porch for 1 minute. I do not open the door. I do not know what I will see in the morning. Brad will sit at the breakfast table. Ellie will ask something about Bluey, and I will make pancakes. Like every other morning. One last time. A metal plate hits the table. Loud. The waitress drops off the All-Star Special at the next booth. 2 eggs, bacon, hash browns, toast. Sarah and I sit in the corner booth, 3 booths away from Brad's usual spot. We get here at 7:53 a.m. We drink coffee. We do not talk much. There is an old Tabasco bottle on our table. The cap is sticky. Sarah wears jeans today, and a clean white t-shirt. Her hair is down. She does not wear makeup. Mateo is with her sister. She told me this in the parking lot. 8 a.m. Brad walks in with 2 coworkers. Greg, with an HRID badge on a string around his neck. Tony, with an Oklahoma State cap. Brad smiles. He is happy this morning. They sit down at his usual booth. Brad orders without looking at the menu. Coke and scattered hash browns, please. He always orders the same thing. 8 years now. I look at Sarah. Sarah nods one time. We stand up. We walk over. We stand next to each other at the head of his table. Greg and Tony look up first. They look confused. Brad does not look up yet. He reaches for the creamer. Brad, I say. My voice is not loud. Brad looks up. I watch his face change in 3 seconds. Surprise first, then understanding, then white. White and frozen. This is Sarah Reyes, I say. I think you know her. Sarah does not speak. She takes the Shutterfly book out of her bag. She puts it on the table. She opens it to the first page. Brad and Mateo. Brad laughs, hair wet from the sprinkler. Greg picks up the book. He flips 1 page, 2 pages. He puts it down. He does not look at Brad. I take the LLC papers out of my purse. 4 pages. Sarah's name circled in blue pen. I put them on the table next to Brad's plate. He took my mother's money, I say. I do not look at Brad. I look at Greg. He wrote Sarah's name on these papers. She never signed them. That is wire fraud. That is a real crime. Tony stands up. He picks up his cap. He puts it on. He looks at Brad 1 time. I'm out, man. He walks away. He does not pay for his coffee. Greg looks at Brad. Greg does not say much. He says 1 word. Dude. Then Greg stands up too. He grabs his jacket. He shakes his head. I'm calling Mark Monday morning. Mark is the HR director at Brad's company. Greg walks out. The bell on the door rings. Brad sits still. His Coke is full. His hash browns are full. He looks up at me. His eyes are wet. Heather, please. Just listen. Please. I can explain. I do not answer. I do not say 1 word to him. Sarah and I turn around. At the counter, I pay $2.86 for my coffee. Sarah pays $2.86 for her coffee. Each one separate. I want it that way. We walk out in the parking lot. We stand next to Sarah's car. A 2014 silver Toyota Corolla. There is a child seat in the back. I see Mateo's juice box on the floor. The straw is bent. I do not hug Sarah. We are not friends. That is not this story. We just stand together for 30 seconds. The wind is cold. Mateo will be okay, I say. You're a good mom. Sarah nods. Her eyes are wet. She does not cry out loud. I don't know if I can do this alone again, she says. I think about this. I could say something soft. I could put my hand on her arm. I could hug her. But I am not that woman. I never am. I say what I think. You already do. He wasn't really there anyway. The words come out hard. Sarah looks at me. She blinks. Then she nods slow. She gets in her car. She drives away. The Corolla turns left out of the lot. I drive home. 22 minutes. I do not turn on the radio. I do not cry. I park in my driveway. I sit in my car for 2 minutes. The neighbor's cat sits on my mailbox. He looks at me. He does not move. Brad is not home. Brad will not come home again. I walk in. Ellie is on the couch. She watches Bluey on the TV. Hair messy. Still, in pajamas. The blue ones with little stars on them. She has a Capri Sun in her hand. The straw is bent. I sit down next to her. She leans her head on my shoulder. Where is Daddy? She asks. Eyes still on the TV. He's not here right now, sweetie. Is he coming back? I do not answer right away. I stroke her hair. I do not lie to her. But I do not tell the whole truth either. Not today. Today is for Bluey and pancakes. We'll talk later, baby. Want pancakes? With chocolate chips? Yes. I stand up. I walk to the kitchen. I take the pancake mix from the box. I pour it into a bowl. I add water. I stir. I heat the pan on the stove. Then I do something stupid. I pour the syrup into the pan first. By mistake. Wrong order. The syrup bubbles. The kitchen smells like burnt sugar. I am tired. I do not fix it. I do not throw it out. I pour the pancake mix on top of the syrup. I let it burn a little. I make the pancake anyway. I put it on a plate. I add chocolate chips. I add a little more syrup on top. I bring it to Ellie. She does not look at the pancake. She only looks at the TV. She takes a bite. She smiles small. Thanks, Mom. I sit down next to her again. She eats the burnt pancake. She does not notice. I smile. Only for a second. Only for her. The smile is real.
Honestly, that burnt pancake got me more than the Waffle House scenes. Wrong order, syrup first, and she just made it anyway. Chocolate chips on top. That's the whole story. Her hands never shook once. She noticed it herself. I think that scared her more than anything Brad did. Did the ending land for you? Or did you want more from it? Tell me. I will read them all and thank you so much for watching.